Or in their mother's house, as Bob Wexler did. Kurt Price. Well, Joe and I were interviewed before coming here tonight by the Palm Beach Post, and I regret to inform you that I highly doubt that I'm going to be endorsed by the Palm Beach Post, as a result of our interview today. I don't think they like too many of my conservative principles. Good evening, folks, and I don't think the same thing with Joe, who has turned into be a friend of mine, and that's a good thing. My name is Kurt Price. I entered the race a little bit before Joe. I entered into the race for similar reasons to Joe. I'm going to give you a little bit of my background. I am first generation American from Canada. We'll get the A out of the way so we won't say that. I'm assuming there's going to be some A's in this audience, am I correct? A. A? I am the one of 5 children of a World War II veteran. We moved over to this country in '66, where my 2 brothers were informed that they were going to be drafted within the first year, and they went on to serve their country volunteering to go to Vietnam. My family is a military family. I am the only one that did not go into the military. I missed Vietnam. I went to college and received my first degree, graduated in criminal justice, where I met my college sweetheart, Elizabeth. We've been married 34 years. We came down here to this great state in 1980 to accept a job with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. I was with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department from 1980 to 2001, where I served in the road patrol and I had a specialty in training. I am heavily involved in my business, and I'm heavily involved in the police department in firearms training and use of force. I used to train police officers when they could not use force. While I was a policeman, I ended up staying in the patrol division and getting my second college degree from St. Thomas of Villanova in business. And I started my business in 1989, and I did both police work and small business for 11 years. Needless to say, 70, 80, 90-hour work weeks were the norm. But my father taught me many years ago, as he brought me over to this great country, and he said, the only thing that holds you back in this great country is you. Go live the American dream. How often are we talking about living the American dream today? I had that ability, and I thank my parents for that. Today, what I have is a small business with 8 employees, and I operate that with my wife. That is my background. Now, how do these apply to running for Congress? There was never a plan to run for Congress. I was in my business this year, and people kept on coming into my business and saying, I'm scared of my government. Can you imagine? My business is business owners, doctors, professional people, scared of their government. That motivated me to do some deep soul searching, and for 2 months, I was told that you cannot win in this Jewish district because you're not Jewish. I was told that because you have no political experience, don't apply. And I was told every other excuse not to run. Well, you want to know something? You know what that means when people do that. It just kind of perks your curiosity, doesn't it? So I ran. We expected the election to be August the 24th, the primary. Well, something happened along the way. Someone I know resigned. And so what happened is now we have an ex-representative in this district costing the district millions of dollars, okay, for us to have 2 elections instead of 1. I can tell you one thing. You cannot be a regular guy and run for office because it is expensive. Is it not, Joe? Water just goes right on up. What do I bring to the table? I bring you 20 years of seeing a lot of different things. Death, life, difficult decisions where I've been honored for putting a person on death row, to have that same person tried and retried 3 times and to die of AIDS 17 years later. I've been honored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving and Women in Distress and various other organizations for what I've done. I learned a lot about security in the business, and it taught me about life. I like to say that there are 3 worlds that I grew up in. The real world, Disney World and the spiritual world. And Disney World's 3 hours north, folks. And I think it's time right now with where we're at. We got to get out of Disney World and live in the real world, because there were some mistakes made this last